Ladies and gentlemen, close the pregame show with your final favorite. Hang on, Sophie.
The views and opinions on this broadcast are those of wearecolerain.com and not those of Northwest High School, Colerain football, or the Northwest School District.
Welcome to Dwyer Field on the campus of Mason Middle School. It's week 7 of Ohio High School Athletic Association varsity football action. It's your Colerain Cardinals, undefeated and on the road at the 5-1 Mason Comets. This is Chris Simonitis along with Brian Wyatt and Mike Work in the booth tonight for wearecolerain.com. Bringing you live audio action of tonight's GMC contest. We apologize, getting started a few minutes late. Our laptop locked up on us right as we were getting ready to go live. I'm sure that many of you in our listening audience have had that happen and can understand. So we apologize, and unfortunately, not even 1 full minute into the first quarter, Colerain received the opening kickoff and took it up to the 43-yard line, where one jet sweep pitch later, Sincere Jones rattled off a 57-yard touchdown run right through the middle and the heart of the Mason defense, and Colerain now leads 7-0 here, less than a minute to go. Brian, most inopportune time for our machine to break down, but it happens.
We pressed play, and it was the internet. Anytime we go on the road, we don't have internet access. We had to scramble. We hit play, it didn't. And then to catch you up, Mason does have the ball. Colerain tried to pooch kick themselves, and it was stopped at the it went out of bounds at the 35. Mason takes the ball for their first possession at their own 35, and on the first play, a simple little dive picks up 3 yards.
Running back Logan Dalton, a 6'1", 190-pound senior for Mason, picked up a few yards on that play. Again, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We appreciate you spending time on your Friday night to be with us. We encourage you to reach us via the YouTube chat room. You can always do that. Mike is here. He's going to keep an eye on that. No email tonight. Brandon is not here. He is at home sick with a bad cold, so we're going to not do that checking tonight. Here's a handoff across the middle one more time to number 3, Logan Dalton. He's going to take it forward for about 4 more yards. It's going to be 3rd down and short.
Yeah, Logan Dalton does a good job. Nice initial contact. That'll be about 3 yards short of the first down. We're going to see a lot from Mason. They're going to run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. They can't throw it. But they're going to try to keep the ball out of this dangerous Colerain offense, and we got our first 3rd down and 3.
Mason on the 42-yard line. You can see there right there on your phone the scoreboard, which we'll give you all night long, so you can see time remaining, score, down and distance, timeouts, and all the important statistics you need to follow alone. There's a handoff right across the middle. This time it's number 13. He follows his big offensive line, takes it all the way up to the 49-yard line, almost a 50, enough for a Mason first down.
Yeah, just a simple straight dive. They were in the I formation, and he gives it to the fullback. And as we've seen here in Mason time and time again, good size up front. You're looking at one of the smallest guys up there is about 250. Looking to get the starting lineup right now, but yeah, 276, 256, 300, lots of push up front. So it's first down right at the 50-yard line for the Mason Comets.
Colerain up 7-0 here very early on their first play on their first series of the game. Drops back to pass is number 10, and he is swallowed whole by the Colerain defense. Ivan Pace busts through and makes the sack.
Yeah, one thing about having a big offensive line, they might not have the quickest feet. They try to go a little play action right there. Quarterback pulls it out of the belly of the fullback, looks to set his feet, and by the time he had his feet set, Ivan Pace was coming from the outside, and he's cleaned up by a lot of Colerain Cardinals. Loss of about 8 on the play. So Mason, just like Colerain, well, they do kind of a muddle huddle. They don't do the traditional huddle, but they're going to the shotgun formation. They've got the pistol, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end.
Back to their own 44-yard line. There's a handoff across the middle, runs right into the middle of the line, and the Colerain defense is there to stop that for a modest gain. We'll call it 2 yards.
Yeah, trying to spread Colerain out. And that was Deontay Corleone on the stop. It's going to bring it be 3rd down and 15. One thing I'm seeing here for the Comets, their situational substitutions, they're pretty deep here, using a different wide receiver group almost for every play. This time 4 wide receivers, 1 running back, no tight end.
And the quarterback is number 10, Colin Brown, the junior, 6'4", 206. Drops back, passes it across the middle, and it is picked off over the extended arms of the intended receiver, and it was number 3, Deshaun Pace, who gets yet another turnover for this turnover machine defense.
Yeah, 3-man bunch to the right side. They ran them all on a slant. The inside slant was there, but a little bit high. Wide receiver does get his hands on it, but it skips right through his hands. Deshaun Pace picks it off. Colerain's going to have the ball. Their second possession, good field position at their own 40.
That is the 17th turnover of the season for the Colerain defense in not even 7 weeks. So they are opportunistic, and it's not just all interceptions.
How about this from the Colerain Cardinals? A little bit different right here. Kind of a half wing with 2 wide receivers.
J.J. Davis in motion. There's the fake handoff. Deontay Smith pitches it to J.J. Davis. He's got some running room. He makes 1-man miss. He's still on his feet. Can he get all the way down to the end zone? He's going to get caught, but he makes it through the tackle into the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals!
2 plays, 2 touchdowns. Colerain Cardinals got it rolling so far. 60 yards. J.J. Davis takes the option pitch to the outside, goes 60 yards along with Sincere Jones, 57. When they've run 2 plays, they've got 130 yards to 120 yards already.
It's one of those things where, again, we talk about how difficult it is to prepare for the option for any team anyway. And Mason, as well as the rest of the teams in the GMC, are a bit of an exception because they see Colerain every year. But at the same time, the one thing you just simply cannot simulate is speed. And if you don't have the speed that Colerain brings to the table, you can't simulate it during the week.
They even fooled you a little bit on that. You thought they had the angle. You thought he was getting caught.
Well, he did get caught. The guy missed the tackle.
Yeah, he got that extra gear as the snap goes back. The kick is up. And it is good. So the Colerain Cardinals at 8:16 in the first quarter. Explosive plays, 2 touchdowns, 2 plays, 2 extra points done. Cameron Ott doing the sophomore again, doing the kicking. We talked to Coach Bolden last week about his kicking situation, and he talked about his senior kicker. Does a lot of, he's a 2-sport player. He's one of the key defenders on the soccer team, and he's kind of been just not hurt, but beat up lately. And when you've got depth at kicker, as we saw, I think he was, 5 for 6 last
No, he was 6 of 7. They had 48 points, right? Yeah. So he had 6 touchdowns. He was 6 for 6 on extra points.
So Colerain again going to be kicking off.
Yeah, Mango came in early in the game last week, missed the field goal, shanked it wide left, and then he didn't come back in again. And
I thought I'd missed a field goal.
No,
too.
It was Mangold.
Okay.
It was Mangold that missed it.
I thought he missed one later in the game.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's playing full-time soccer in a very competitive league, and they had a busy week this week, the boys team did. So, you know what? When you've got a sophomore, and we never have sophomore kickers, but we've got a good-looking one here in Mr. Ott, who's now 2 for 2 on extra points tonight. That makes him 8 for 8 in his past 8 attempts. There's a kick. It's a high pooch kick. It's going to be caught at about the 15-yard line. Colerain defense and special teams is there. There's a tackle made. Doesn't even get past the 23, we'll call it. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Mason defense. And here's the one drawback of scoring so quick on 2 plays, Brian, right? Your defense is out there like all the time. The offense isn't eating up any clock. But thankfully, they turned that first series around real quick with the turnover. and now have a 14-0 cushion with 8:11 still in the first quarter to go.
Yeah, we kind of expected this last week when we saw the Colerain Cardinals take on Hamilton. They got off a little bit slow. Not today. 14-0. Mason's going to take the ball at their own 23-yard line. Going big up front.
Thanks to the
three wide receivers, one tight end, shotgun pistol formation.
Snap is back, drops back, quick pass out. Oh, we've got whistles. Pre-snap whistles. Looks like it's going to be.
He called offsides on Colerain, but now he's calling.
Well, he called that, and he
called it on Mason.
Okay, there we go.
But that was pre-snap, so they stopped the play.
Yep. So it's going to be a 5-yard penalty against the Cards for offsides. Quick shout out to those in the chat room. We appreciate it. Brandon is there this week. Brandon, no excuses, my friends, just reasons. This is what happens, unfortunately, when it comes to machines. Shout out, of course, to Lenny Lopez checking in as usual from beautiful sunny Corona, California, hopefully. Thank you.
First down and 5. Mason back to the I formation.
On their own 28-yard line. Drops back. There's a handoff in a straight I. Tries to get through the middle, but there's number 7, Bolden, the senior captain. Wraps him up and takes him down for, we'll call it about a 2-yard gain, maybe 3.
Yeah, the senior Logan Dalton, 6'1", 190-pound running back. He's going to pick up 4. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 1.
It's a long one. They've got 2nd and 2 on the scoreboard. We'll see if they can stop him here. Nope, they just changed it to 1. They heard you.
I told you long ago, Chris. Don't look at the scoreboard. Look at the guy, the little orange sticks.
2nd down and 1 for the Mason Comets, aided by the 5-yard penalty to start the series. There's a snap back. It's a handoff right over the middle. Number 13's got it, and he's going to have enough for the first down over the 35 out to the 37. First down Comets.
Yeah, I understand Mason's going to want to keep the ball away from Colerain. But you've done the thing that you did not want to do when you're playing ball-controlled, time-consuming offense, is you've spotted Colerain 14 points.
Yeah, it's not a good situation for them. Mason, of course, is 5-1, one of only 3 undefeated teams left in GMC play, the other being Fairfield and, of course, our Colerain Cardinals, all sitting at 4-0 coming into tonight's play. Fairfield taking on Sycamore tonight. There's a handoff once again right over the middle. Positive yards this time, number 48 on the carry. He's going to pick up 4, maybe 5 yards on first down.
Yeah, we have Mason's roster. We do not have a 48.
Seriously?
Yeah, we do not. Yeah, we do not have a 48.
That's fantastic.
But I tell you what, he's a pretty big guy. We looked at their the pregame on all their stats. Their running backs are good size, but nothing of this size. So they might have converted a defensive player over just to get some size at that fullback position.
Yep.
That's a big boy back there.
Could be Molinari. Anyway, there's a handoff once again over the middle. Mason not trying to do anything spectacular, just trying to run right through the middle of that Colerain defense. And so far on the ground, Brian, they've had success. More positive yards. It's going to be 3rd and 4 now. So another 3rd down opportunity for this Colerain defense.
You're down 14 points. I mean, it's a lot of time left in the clock.
Of course.
But they'll look like they're happy to settle for 3- to 4-yard dives, which is fine as long as your defense can maybe get a couple stops or turnovers for this Colerain. So we look at a 3rd down and a long 4.
Offset I formation. In the shotgun is number 10. Colin Brown, the junior, drops back, looks to pass. Got a little bit of time, throws it, and it is complete. Caught up at the 50-yard line. Driven out of bounds, but not before he gets the first down, back up to the 50-yard line. So now they're back up to where they were in their first series, the 50. Haven't had a play yet in Colerain territory, but it's 1st down and 10 for Mason right at midfield.
Yeah, a little bit of soft coverage there. Orlando Kendricks one-on-one. He's there with, did you get a number on that one?
I did not.
I think that was
4. It was 4 that made the tackle. That's
well, yeah, we need to know. Dardis from Mason, just a quick little out.
Yep, Alec Dardis, their leading receiver. There's a handoff right across the middle again. The big boy, number 48, but he gets met after only about a yard gain.
Boy, kind spot. I'm sitting on the 50-yard line. He gets tackled at the 50-yard line, and they're going to give him the 50 3/4.
Thanks again for all of you that are following along in the
YouTube sounds good.
Yoo-hoo does sound good. In the YouTube chat room. And again, yeah, Colerain fans right on it. Unfortunately, due to Ohio High School Athletic Association rules, we can't show you the live video of the game on the road. Now, of course, when we're at home, we try and do that. But again, we always encourage you, if you're within driving distance of Colerain, just come to the game because it's so much more fun, such a better atmosphere than listen to us up in the booth ramble on. There's a snap back, fakes the handoff, pressure in the backfield. Ivan Pace Jr. with the huge sack pass, the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd and long.
Again, they were going play action, and they decided not to block the weak side. When you've got speed, as Ivan Pace does.
Was he touched?
No, they let him go unblocked. They're going to go play action, and it looked like they were going to try to throw a screen maybe behind him or a quick little hitter to the running back behind him. But Pace turns that corner as quick as he kind of reminds me of like maybe like Tyler Moeller, the way he came off the edge.
There
like
you
that.
go. Good. There's a throwback name. Those for any of you over the age of 30 or even 35, I guess you certainly remember the name Tyler Moeller.
But yeah, he went play action, and he didn't even get a time enough to turn around to face the line of scrimmage again.
And he didn't even tackle him that hard. He kind of just came into him and grabbed him and just laid him down. I mean, it's almost like he was afraid somebody was going to throw a flag.
The NFL rules?
Yeah, exactly. Here's a timeout, Mason.
I did see he stopped to get a pen and a paper, and he was going to get signed permission to tackle him.
That's good. I like that.
I made that up.
I figured you did because I didn't see him with the pen and the paper, but that was nice.
Because it was a pencil.
Thank you, and a beautiful good evening to all of you joining us this evening. Thank you again for tuning in. This is Chris Himonitis along with Brian Wyatt and Mike Rourke here in the booth at Mason Middle School, Dwyer Field at Atrium Stadium. We love coming here because we're here for one or two reasons. One, we're playing Mason, which, of course, Colerain, maybe not of course, but for those of you who don't know, they are undefeated versus Mason. Even before Mason joined the conference in 2007, they played them a few times, and we've got an 11-0 record against the Mason Comets. They've never beaten us. But on top of that, we've had so many wonderful playoff games here at Mason.
And
that
we've
are
had some
incredibly
miserable playoff games,
and we've
too.
had some miserable ones too, but most recently they seem to have been pretty good. And tonight's off to a great start. Colerain with 2 offensive touches, 2 touchdowns, lead 14-0. 4:13 to go in the first
3rd and 15,
quarter.
they need to get to the Colerain 40. They run an inside trap.
Not a bad idea, but they're not going to get anywhere near enough yards. They're going to get up to about the 49-yard line.
I think Colerain got a. They tried to run an inside trap, and there's a lot of traffic. Referees didn't see it, but there was a Colerain got away with a face mask.
Well, we certainly don't see any hankies on the field, so it's going to be 4th down and 12.
Mason's coach saw, or one of their coaches saw what I saw, and kind of sprinted out almost to midfield.
So the Colerain defense looks like they're going to hold again. Another Colerain defender came off the field with a helmet that got dislodged. Second one of the game already.
Well, and we've had another delay again. They've reset the play clock. The officials are not getting the ball set. Yeah, but he allowed the substitutions, and now they're having trouble getting the play clock started.
Now it's stopped. We're back to 25 seconds. And, okay, now here we go.
Yeah, I don't know if that's official or it's somebody up in the booth. There's a little miscommunication. So
Mason on to punt. Snap is back. He's got it. It was a high snap, but he caught it. There's a punt. It's a low-line drive. It's going to bounce just before the 20. Picked up. I'm not exactly sure who's got that. Is that Sincere? He's got it. And he's actually going to be driven back inside the 15-yard line. So great coverage by the Mason special teams. Sincere just looking, ranging to his right, trying to find some space and just couldn't find any.
Well, it's kind of interesting. You know, sometimes those high, nice, pretty kicks are not that effective because they're easy.
Right.
That one was ugly. You didn't know how it was going to bounce, so you can't attack it. It throws the timing off, and those are usually like feast or famine. Either it throws off your blocking or it throws off the coverage. That time kind of threw off the blocking. But what we say, when we get pinned this deep, that's just more yards for the offense.
Well, they've already got almost 140 on the night on 2 offensive plays. Let's see what they do here. Deontay Smith-Moore under center. Traditional wing. There's a reverse pitch to J.J. Davis. He stays on his feet, makes a man miss. He's going to have enough for the first down. He's going to get pushed out of bounds by number 1 on defense, but not until he makes it all the way out to the 35-yard line. A 20-plus yard run for J.J. Davis. First down, Cardinals.
You know, we talked to a couple of coaches ahead of time, and they told us what play was going to be because they thought they could get to the outside for that first play. And it happened twice, and this time they go out of the traditional wing formation, and it's kind of not really a trap or not that counter, but kind of a jet sweep out of that formation. And he showed great patience until it opened up, and I tell you, a touchdown-saving tackle by Dominic Negro.
So that was out to the 32-yard line. I apologize. Deontay Smith-Moore under center. Hands the ball off to Ivan Pace. It's going to pick up, looks like about 5 yards on the play.
And the largest cheer from the Mason, look at that student section. Cheer tonight was stopping Colerain.
Don't move the camera. Just leave it there.
We'll get a shot at it later.
Last thing we need is something disconnecting, and then we're back to square one.
But yeah, they stopped for a 4-yard gain. The student section went nuts. But look at that. That is the biggest student section I've ever seen on one of our games.
This is, I think, the largest school in the state of Ohio, so I would expect there to be a lot of kids there. There's a handoff once again to Ivan Pace Jr. He gets wrapped up and taken down for a 2-yard loss back to the 35-yard line. So it'll be third down and about 7.
Yeah, Mason's got some good size up front.
And DSM fell down on that handoff. And I'll be honest with you, after watching the beginning last week, there's a problem there. There's something wrong.
That was all defense. All 3 guys hit the quarterback at the same time. They kind of guessed that snap count, and there was contact before he made the handoff.
Is that what happened last week too in Hamilton?
Hamilton, it was just pretty much so.
Okay,
just dropped the ball.
So there we go. Deontay Smith-Moore takes it, rolls out, looks the pass, throws it down the field, and it is caught. That is the super sophomore, number 28, Freddie Johnson, into Mason territory, past the 50, first down Cardinals.
Yeah, he had his option there. They went play action. They rolled out to the left, had Ivan Pace slipped out of the backfield. We've seen that been very successful when they drop him off the year. But the deep man running about a 15-yard out, he saw him. I tell you what, that was a laser. What a great pass. So it takes all the way down to the 48-yard line of Mason.
First down and 10 for the Cardinals, up 14-0. Just under 2 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. It's nice to have a quarterback that can throw those short to intermediate routes when you need it. He takes it, fakes the handoff to Ivan, gets caught in the backfield, stays on his feet, still picks up positive yardage. Well, they're not very kind on that spot. They're going to mark him right back at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mason is doing a good job between the guards. They're sending everybody up the middle, and I'll tell you what, they've got a couple of their guys going. Hell,
that's 48, right? That's the guy we saw at
48, not on the roster. 64, not on the roster.
They just gave me this roster this week.
77, Benjamin Ligby. He's on the roster at 6'3", 264 pounds.
So there's a jet sweep around. J.J. Davis has got it again, trying to find some speed on the edge, and he gets tackled. He's going to get up to the 40. Let's see where they mark him out of bounds. Down to about the 47-yard line. So again, great defense by the Mason Comets. Only about a 2-yard gain. It's going to be third and long. So curious to see what they do here on third down and 9. Approaching 30 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, you trust your offense. You want about 5 yards here. We're getting 30 seconds left in this first quarter. Just pick up about half of this.
Drops back, looks the pass, throws it. It is complete to number 10, but he fell to his knees to catch the ball, and it's going to be fourth down at the 40-yard line. Certainly makes it a more gettable fourth down, so to speak.
Oh yeah, this is in the area that you could punt it from here, but your defense is doing so good. You need 2 yards, and they brought in the big boys right here. That was Jaquan Jackson. Yeah, he just ran a simple hook route, and the ball was a little late in anticipation.
And a little low.
But you know what? He ran his route about 2 yards short though too. But
so at the end of the first quarter, it's Colerain 14, Mason 0. Fourth down upcoming here. We'll get ready to start the second quarter. Of course, they'll flip sides of the fields and go from there. And there's Mike doing exactly what I told him not to do, and that's move the camera. He's been doing it the whole time, apparently. Yeah, that's fine. You run the risk of something going bad.
Hey, just thank Mike showed up. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, and we'd like to take this, and special thanks to all of the corporate sponsors here. We couldn't do anything here at wearecolerain.com without your support. So that's Queen City Running, Valley Metalworks, CAI Insurance, Oxworth Blood Center, Cincinnati Police Credit Union, State Farm Insurance, Shock Tile and Carpet, Skyline Chili, Boating Realtors, The Underground Sports Shop, Friedhoff Accounting and Tax Service, Meyer, Joe Capel, Lawn Service and Landscaping, Midwest Stonescapes, Paul Young Funeral Home, NovaCare, La Rosa's, Northgate Ford, Game On Sports Bar, Life Touch, Fast Signs, Air Pest Control, Plato's Closet, Supercuts, Langen Meats, Quaker Steak and Lube, Joseph Toyota of Cincinnati, Northwest Association of Educators, Friendship Baptist Church, and Long Shaver. And I'm going to do a special shout out. From what I understand, the owners at Game On have Colerain games live every week there in the bar. So shout out to Game On as we Colerain just goes big boy. They bring in the 2 extra tight ends. They bring in a linebacker. They bring in, and they just hand the ball off to Ivan Pace. He needed 2. He got 4. First down inside the 35. The ball's going to be spotted at the 33-yard line. That was just power. That was just, we're bigger than you. We just went straight at you. No play action, nothing.
Yeah, you can't run that play on every play, obviously, but on short yardage situation, it's going to be very, very difficult for any defense to stop
very difficult.
That amount of pounds.
Especially when you're running behind Bolden and Phillips.
Yep, so back under center there, traditional wing, J.J. Davis in motion. Deontay Smith-Moore drops the pass, tucks it and run, gets out in the open, makes one man miss, gets it down past the 25-yard line. He's going to be close to a first down. I'd say maybe a yard shy.
No, he's 2 yards past it.
I can't see where the base of that orange. Nope.
You're right.
He's a yard shy. Still great run for DSM on first down. Second down and 1 now.
Yeah, play action, and he just had one man in the pattern. The man was covered, and great decision not to throw it, just tucks it.
Yep.
Kind of a pass option right there. So shotgun formation, three wide receivers, 1 running back.
Snap back now, looks to pass the entire way. It's tossed over the middle to number 11. He's walking into the end zone untouched. Touchdown, Cardinals!
That's Elijah Ford, the junior, with his first varsity touchdown. He was started the year as a linebacker and such depth there. They moved him to tight end. He's known for his blocking. This time he slips out uncovered. That's a tough throw to make when he was that wide open. Makes the catch, and he's into the end zone. Colerain with their 3rd touchdown.
Deontay Smith-Moore is a very competent passer when he needs to be. It's quite impressive. Ott on for the extra point. Heavy-duty pressure put on by Mason, but Ott puts it through anyway. And with 10:49 left to go in the first half, the Colerain Cardinals have opened up a 21-0 lead over the host, Mason Comets.
You guys don't get to see it at home, but as I said, that was Elijah Ford, the junior's first touchdown. And the funny thing after that extra point, he had about 8 Colerain players come off that bench, some of the starters, some non-starters, to congratulate him.
Football is family.
Well, I tell you what, that kid, they list him at 6'3", 205. He looks bigger 305 as a junior, so...
So interesting statistic as I was doing some research this week. And
interesting to who, Chris?
Well, I think interesting to everybody. That's my feeling.
Okay,
I wouldn't say it.
All right. It's like saying, here's a funny joke. Never say that first. Let the joke tell itself. But go ahead. Be interesting.
Deontay Smith-Moore, approaching 600 yards, both rushing and receiving through the end of last week, has a legitimate chance to throw and rush for over 1,000 yards each, to be a 2,000-yard from scrimmage player. And that just is something you don't see in a triple option offense. He's that dynamic, and Coach Bolden said it in the preseason. He has it. He certainly does. There's the kickoff by Ott once again. It's a pooch kick short, caught at about the 15-yard line, taken up to the 20, hit at the 25 immediately by number 21, falls forward out to about the 27, where Mason will take over, first down and 10.
Yeah, Tyrus Bradley made the initial contact, and then didn't see who finished up that play, but good coverage. I tell you what, you don't have to kick it deep. I'm not sure. I know Coach Dan Bolden has taken over the special team, and there is a kind of, I don't know if it's an attitude or scheme.
Dan has or Tom has? I thought Tom had taken over himself.
No, I see.
No?
I see
Okay.
Dan on the sideline.
All right, maybe it's a joint venture. I don't know.
Yeah, but whatever's happened, well, the Colerain has kind of just not been great on coverage in the past couple of years, even with the last. We go play action, looking deep.
He's got some room to run, does number 10, and that's what he does. He tucks it and runs. He's going to have enough for the first down and then slides. I don't know that I've ever seen a high school quarterback do that.
Well, no, he
slid at the 41, 42-yard line, enough for the first down.
Deshaun Pace had beads on him, and he had already gotten the first down, did his job. Good. They went, this time, no play action. He just dropped back and looked deep. That was going to be a coverage sack. I tell you what, he's not the fastest guy, but he had 2 speed. He had just enough speed to pick up the first down. Serviceable athlete.
First down and 10 at their own 42-yard line. Mason trailing 21-0 here with about 10 minutes to go in the first half. Snap is back, drops back, looks the pass, is going to try and tuck it and run it right up the middle, and that's not going to find any room there.
Yeah, success running on the busted passing play, but this time they went straight quarterback draw, spread them out with 4 wide receivers. Picks up a yard. Yeah,
I tell you what, if you're listening and you're not following along in the chat room on YouTube, you're really missing out on some quality. I mean,
hey Chris,
that's fantastic.
Don't get caught up there. You got to call the game. It is. I learned that last week sitting on the couch and not feeling well. So yeah, it's.
All right, lined up now. 2nd down and 9 at their own 43-yard line in the shotgun. Again, an offset eye. Colin Brown, the quarterback, takes it. Hands it right over the middle. There's a run by number 3. Once again, Dalton gets it out to about the 46-yard line with forward progress. So it's going to be 3rd down and about 6.
Yeah, Corleone's there. Corleone's along with Mike Bess on the tackle.
Corleone and Bess and I'm sorry, who's our other lineman, our junior lineman? Thomas?
49. That's
right here,
Donovan Owens.
Donovan Owens, that's it.
So this is what...
all underclassmen. Now my point was all underclassmen, so good to see that.
And all underclassmen with size. That they've got to reset the ball.
Yeah, that ball's not set right.
Well, I don't know
what happened. Did it kick?
No, it just started rolling. The refs had it set when they broke the huddle. It just kind of rolled back the yard. So a 3rd down. Let's call it 6. They need to get to the Colerain 43.
Colerain 46. Snap is back. 10 rolls. Looks. 4's on him, and he's going to be sacked. He's going to be sacked. Number 4 and number 99 sandwiched and met at the middle. They came off the edges and met the quarterback, taking him all the way back. Forward progress stopped at the 34-yard line. It'll be 4th down. Punt forthcoming.
Yeah, again, they're not blocking the weak side. And with the speed of Colerain, we saw it from Pace, and this time Kendricks came flying, but the quarterback was flushed inside by Eric Phillips. We're going to kind of combination sack right there, but a big sack. So Sincere Jones and J.J. Davis could set up about a throwing 30.
There's a snap back. Cardinals came after the punt, didn't get it. Caught by J.J. Davis, makes one man miss, makes another man miss. He's in all kinds of traffic, but he gets it back into Mason territory where the Cardinals will start off 1st and 10 at the Mason 49-yard line. Can't complain about that field position.
That was just another, it looked like he almost tried to rugby-style kick dip, but never kind of got it low enough to hit the ground. It was a lone line drive. Kind of a gutsy move. J.J. Davis catches it as he's moving forward into some heavy traffic.
Encourage, if you're listening to us online, you should pull up the Twitter app on your smartphone or your iPad, or maybe if you're at a desktop or laptop computer, pull up twitter.com, find us. We are Colerain. You can see live clips of what's happening during the process of the game. The SM under center takes the ball, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, and he's immediately tackled by big number 64 for the Mason defensive line, loss of a yard.
Yeah, Mason is really committed to that inside veer. They've got, I said, 235, 245, 260 all across the front. Colerain's most of their success, all of their success, really coming from the outside, but that in between the guards, no success. And again, number 64 is not on the roster.
Well, I'll be sending an email on Monday morning.
Well, you never know. You game plan for Colerain. You got maybe have converted defensive linemen or linebackers.
There's a handoff right over the middle. Hamza Abdul Wahid takes it deeper into Mason territory, enough for the 1st down all the way down to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, not a read option right there, just a little trap block. Go straight up the middle. Your backup fullback, Hamza Abdul, just takes it, and I tell you what, he hits that hole quick.
He's fast. He's 5'6", 160. He's a very different fullback than Ivan Pace Jr. I mean, he's faster than Ivan. There's no question about that. Well, it's that
first step he gets to the hole. So he's going to take it all the way down to the 31-yard line.
So that was a big play for Hamza Abdul Wahid. It's a handoff once again over the middle. This time it's Ivan Pace Jr. who stays on his feet. Makes a man miss. Picks up a blocker. He's a strong runner. He dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals, Ivan Pace Jr.
After not having any success up the middle, 2 consecutive plays to the fullback. And I tell you what, it almost looked like Mason didn't want to hit him.
I'll tell you what, Ivan Pace.
He was hit about the 25, the 22, the 17, the 14, and then he
got hit again at the 5, and he dove from like the 3.5 into the air, into the end zone. Boy, I sure hope Jason was down there and got that. I see him standing right there at the 20, so I'm hoping he did. Here's Ott on again to attempt his 4th extra point of the night. Snap is back. It's a good snap. Hold is down. It's a good hold. Kick is up. It's a low line drive, and it's good. So, with 6:41 left to go here in the opening half of play, it's your Colerain Cardinals 28, the Mason Comets 0.
You know, this Colerain team struggled early with their special teams, the snap, the hold, the kick, and they struggled early. About 3 weeks ago, they switched over to a new snapper, and we've got to give him credit. Ed Bolton has done a great job so far.
Ed is only a sophomore, correct? I think he's only a sophomore.
Listed in the program as a sophomore.
And he is Dan's youngest, correct? I think.
Yeah, I believe he is
I think he's Dan's
ex-AD.
Ex-athletic director Dan Bolden, and apparently he who is in charge of special teams. That's his youngest son, who's, you're right, has stepped in and done a fine job. It's a lot of pressure on a long snapper. You've always talked about it over the years, how special teams never gets the credit they deserve.
Well, you always get that.
Or the kicker always gets blamed.
Well, you got one job. If you don't do that job right, everybody in the stadium sees it.
Right, exactly.
And when your father is your coach, and your uncle is your coach,
and your last name is Bolden.
Yeah,
that's a lot of pressure.
And then Grandma Bolden.
Oh yeah, well
that's the one you don't want to deal with.
Ball's lined up on the 40. Ott gets underneath it, and once again, it's a pooch kick. It's going to be high in the air, taken inside the 15, out to the 20, 25. Find a little bit of running room, but again, tackled before reaching the 30-yard line are the Mason Comets, where they will start off first down and 10, down 28-0.
Yeah, Nolan McCormick found a little bit of seam right there. Went through the initial wall, but good tackling by the Colerain Cardinals. What Mason so far has had one play past the 50-yard line, and then had a big loss, and they were taken back.
It was the one play, and then it was the sack, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the Colerain defense is doing what they have done all year. They've already created one turnover on the night, and it's still early. So Lord knows what the second half will become. But interestingly, Colerain has gone to a running clock, I want to say 3 weeks in a row.
I think at least 3 straight weeks.
3 straight weeks in a row. They've gone to a running clock coming out after halftime.
So Mason back into the eye.
There's a handoff once again to 3 to Dalton. He's got it, but he's going to
lose a yard.
Yeah, he's going to lose a yard on that play. Taken back to the 20, we'll call it the 28-yard line.
Yeah, try to run off the left side off tackle, and you're running right at Eric Phillips. And Eric Phillips doesn't make a lot of tackles. And if you look at the stats, he doesn't make a lot of tackles, but he occupies all the blockers and allows everybody around him. You're not going to push him off the ball, and he takes away all the running lanes.
He's 6'5", 280. The reason he doesn't have a lot of tackles is because nobody's running at him.
Exactly. And then we see why right there. So
they gave him forward progress, so no loss officially on that play. Second down and 10.
Back to the shotgun.
Yep, drops back. There's a fake handoff across the middle, a little bit of pressure up the middle. He passes it. It is incomplete, intended for receiver number 13. As he rolled to his right trying to find something, the junior quarterback, Colin Brown, just couldn't make it happen. It'll be third down and 10.
What, did you see who was in coverage? They ran play action. They rolled him out because he's getting too much pressure up the middle, and they run a long crossing route, and they bring the wide receiver across. Eric Phillips from the outside linebackers position, all 290. He keeps getting bigger. I think he's like 340 now.
He just gained 10 pounds.
He ran across the entire field, shadowing him, and the quarterback just threw it away.
So now we got 3 wide receivers, 2 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Colerain showing blitz, and here comes 22 off the weak side. They chucked him, let him go. There's a catch and an immediate tackle. Great defensive play. That's going to be a 4-yard loss by the Colerain defense. It'll be another punt for the Mason special teams unit.
Yeah, trying to catch Colerain off guard right there. Colerain bringing a lot of pressure on third down, and they do it there. Try to catch him with the screen pass. Luke Bolden sheds his blocker and takes him down for loss. It's another 4th down. So Logan Dalton's going to be kicking from about his own 10-yard line. Jones and Davis set him up near midfield.
There's a snap. It's a high snap, and it's a horribly shanked punt. Almost into the stands. He kicked that thing.
The high punch, the high snap threw off timing. And that was, who's that? Coming from the outside. That was Jakari Patterson. He saw him coming, and he had to kick off, and we get a ball. You know what? They don't move the yard marker. He kicked it to the line of scrimmage.
It was a 4-yard punt.
So Colerain, great field position, 5:04. They have all their timeouts left. They're going to have the ball at the 26-yard line of the Mason Comets.
So Colerain, 1st and 10 at the Mason Comet 26-yard line.
Back to the wing formation. Wide splits.
Yeah, J.J. Davis in motion. There's a pitch to him
Oh,
wide.
nice.
If he can get one block, if Sincere can push him out of the way, which is what he does, J.J. jukes and jives and makes several men miss. He's going to have enough for the first down before he's gang tackled. I'm going to give that a 13-yard run to the wide side of the field for J.J. Davis and the Cardinals. That's a first down and 10, as they still can pick up a first down without having to score.
Perfectly run triple option out of that wing formation. The fullback was covered, the end crashed, and he picked it out to J.J. Davis. And Sincere Jones does a good job blocking his man, but there's a safety. A little bit of safeties are spread wide out to take away this outside, turn him inside, but not before a big play.
First down and 10 now at the 12-yard line. There's DSM, takes the handoff, keeps it himself, pitches it wide to Sincere Jones. He's looking for another touchdown of the night. He reaches. We'll see if they give it to him. I think he's going to be just short. He hit the pylon with the ball, but his knee just hit like at the 1-yard line, I think, before he went out. He spiked the ball in frustration. He wanted that second score.
He tried to dive, but I believe he drug the knee before he hit the pylon.
He did.
And I tell you what, he hasn't gotten the end zone yet this year.
Sincere Jones? He scored.
Oh, that's right. He finally got in there tonight. We talked to him last week. He got caught from behind, tackled at the 1,
a couple of weeks ago, right? Yeah. Yeah, look, he's
so he did he's
incredible. He's a phenomenal blocker. He's a great defender. I mean, honestly, he deserves probably 7 or 8 touchdowns by this point in the season. Any other school that he's at, he's the star tailback.
So not sure what's going on. Both the first down and goal at the 1. Colerain sets up to the play.
Well, the play clock is frozen at 12 seconds. I
don't know if it's the referee or whoever
maybe
run
it's
the
an
play
equipment
clock
issue.
up the booth.
Well, here comes Ivan out to talk to Coach Bolden. I'm not sure what's going on there. It's interesting. May have to ask about that in our post-game interview.
Nah, he's just, how you feeling? You want this one? You get a score right here? Ivan saying, Coach, give it to me. Go give it to me. I'm open.
Well, it's first and goal on the 1-yard line. I need my binoculars here, otherwise DSM will completely confuse me as to who's got the ball. I may not even be able to tell with the binocs. We'll see. DSM's got it. He rolls. He looks the pass. He's going to find
Bolden.
Did he catch it? He did. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals. Look at that. Mr. Bolden, the linebacker, coming in for the score.
Spread and love. This Colerain, who are you going to defend? We've seen this from the goal line, and I tell you what, you got to like it from when these coaches do this. He could have picked anybody to score. Eric Phillips has scored this year, and that's you brought in these guys, you reward them for good.
Phillips, Ford, Bolden, Davis, Pace, Smith, Freddie Johnson's had a couple of receiving touchdowns. I mean, there's so many weapons on this Colerain team.
And don't forget about Gavin Watson and Elijah Ford.
That's right. Snap is back, hold is down. There's another kick, much better looking kick for Mr. Ott, and it is true again. So he's 5 for 5 on extra points here in the first half, and he was 6 for 6 last week. Young Mr. Ott, the sophomore, 11 extra points in a row, and with 4:08 to go in the first half. Ladies and gentlemen, the Colerain Cardinals have opened up a 35-0 lead on the Mason Comets on homecoming, no less, and we are now in a running clock situation.
No, not till the second half.
You don't have it at all in the first half?
Nope, not in the first half at all.
Wow.
So I tell you what, first person to greet Luke Bolden.
There you go.
Luke Bolden there. Dad.
Okay.
I won't say coach.
I know if it was dad or uncle.
I wasn't going to say coach right there because at that moment,
it was dad.
You took off the coach hat and you're proud of your kids.
He had to die for that too. I mean, Deontay just kind of rolled to his right, and he was. I mean,
it's the same play they run. They run both tight ends. He runs. Eric Phillips have been open underneath, so it's an easier throw. Right. But he's got his choice of throwing it to Phillips or Bolden right there.
Just a reminder for those of you that are following along online at home, we will go silent during halftime. We're going to try. We're down a man, no Brandon, so we're going to try and scramble to collect some scores around the GMC and what's going on. And
I don't see it, but this might be a lightning delay.
Well, the Mason football team just took off from the sideline.
I didn't. The sky is dark, but I didn't see anything.
Well, I did see a flash in the distance, but it wasn't.
I thought that was the Kona ice truck.
That's what I.
No, look. Did you see it over there?
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
I thought it was the Kona ice truck. That wasn't lightning, but as it turns out, it looks like somebody saw lightning somewhere. So we are, I think, officially going to go into a lightning delay. We'll keep it live and running here right on the field. You can see Colerain there is going off the field.
Hey, Mike, have you got a shot of that student section across there?
He did. He got it earlier. Okay. It was tremendous. You can leave it. You don't need to get it again. We don't need. Our fans don't want to see the huge Mason student section.
So what it is, once you see lightning, it's 20 minutes, or is it 30 minutes?
I believe it's a 20-minute delay. We'll see if
But
we
if
can
they
get an
see
official
another
word.
lightning strike,
the clock
then
resets.
the clock resets.
This has just been a terrible fall when it comes to weather, and there they are, right up there in the clouds. You could see it. I mean, and it's a pop-up shower and/or it's heat lightning, right? I mean, there may not be anything assimilated with it, but when you can see it and it's that close, you got to get the kids off the field. You know, their safety first and foremost. I mean, we can continue to broadcast all night. So, look, if you're still listening, go ahead and take a break. Get yourself some wings, maybe an ice cold beverage or something, and kick off to do something else at least for 20 minutes, and then come back and check. And we'll do our best to give you an update at that time. Welcome back to Mason Middle School here in the midst of a lightning delay, which we are quickly nearing the end of. Thankfully, there was some lightning in the area roughly 25 minutes ago, and we've got a lot going on here. We'll get to that in just a minute, but if you are listening at home and you're watching, we encourage you to, and you can hear my voice, come back to your device. We're going to get ready to start here real shortly. So let's kind of recap. For those of you that maybe have stepped away and kind of forgot where we are, we've got 4 minutes and 8 seconds left to go here. And
wait, the clock started again.
The clock has started. That's a mistake. So we've got 4 minutes and 8 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. Colerain is up 35-0. From what we've been told, because of the extended delay due to the lightning, they're actually, we believe, are going to skip halftime. So we're going to get the 4 minutes and 8 seconds to finish off the second quarter, and then they're immediately going to go to the third quarter and then to the fourth quarter. That's what we've been told. So we're going to take a minute here and kind of run through some scores from some games around the city. Thank you, Mike, for pulling those up. I'm just going to kind of read them. We've kind of kept track of them here. Some of our big GMC contests, the Battle of the Lakotas, East and West. At halftime, Lakota East has got a 21-3 lead over Lakota West. Hamilton and Middletown in a barn burner at the Schwarm. Hamilton up 9-7, Big Blue over the Middies. And pay attention to this score, folks, because this is an important one. Week 9 senior night at Colerain, we're going to be welcoming the Fairfield Indians to our house. And if you've not kept an eye on Fairfield this year, you need to. They are a power. We had a big anticipated game versus them last year, and they would have gone into halftime up if not for a Javon Hicks 103-yard interception return for a touchdown. Tonight, they are playing the Sycamore Aviators, and at halftime have held Sycamore to negative 24 total yards of offense and lead 40-0 over Sycamore. That's Fairfield 40, Sycamore 0. They're coming to Colerain week 9 on senior night. Clear your calendar now. That's 2 weeks from tonight. You need to be there. Halftime, Winton Woods is up 14-7 over Edgewood. Northwest, our fellow school in the district, is tied with Ross at 14. Mount Healthy is up 22-7 over Talawanda. Madison 54-0 over Carlisle. And New Miami's up 16-0, continuing their undefeated season. I can't see who they were playing. You scrolled too far, Mike. I'm sorry.
They're playing Harrison,
I think
aren't they?
Lachlan. It says Lachlan, but I thought they were playing Harrison. So New Miami up 16-0 on Lachlan.
Oh, it's Little Miami.
Yeah,
playing.
Little Miami.
Little Miami.
Okay, Harrison and Little Miami are tied at 21. I'm sorry, what was the other one then? Who was playing Lachlan?
What about Tippecanoe?
Hold on, we'll get to Tippecanoe because I know Brandon wants to know. Oh, it's New Miami.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. New Miami is up 16-0 over Lachlan. And of course here we've got 35-0 Colerain over Mason. Princeton is up 21-7 over Oak Hills. Other big games in the area, again, Little Miami and Harrison tied at 21. In the GCL South, two big games going on at Nippert tonight. Elder and Moeller at halftime, and Elder has a 14-11 lead over Moeller. And the Battle of North Bend, the St. Xavier Bombers and the LaSalle Lancers, are Week 1 and Week 2 opponents. Would you slow down? Mike's killing me. He's flying through this thing here. St. Xavier is up 28-7 at halftime over LaSalle. This is the St. Xavier team who gave up 51 points to Elder last week. I don't see any other scores here of significance. Let's get some of these ECC scores here. Our friends over on the east side of the city. West Claremont is looks like a lightning delay, and they trail Anderson 13-7. Loveland and Turpin are tied at 7 at halftime. We've got another delay at Milford, where they are killing Withrow 27-0. Kings with a 7-0 lead over Walnut Hills early. So those are the scores from around the area of importance, and we'll try and update those as we go through the game for you. Thank you for joining. Mason is coming back out onto the field. Colerain is onto the field. Mike, of course, is going to be moving that camera onto the scoreboard here real soon so we don't get any kind of trouble. What do we got here? Oh, wait, that's right. We can't forget this. At halftime, it's Sydney 13 and Tippecanoe 7. So tight game between.
So let's bring you back up to speed. We are still in the second quarter. There's 4 minutes and 8 seconds left till halftime.
That's right. Luke
Colerain,
Bolden.
Yeah, Luke Bolden had scored when we went into the lightning delay. Colerain up 35-0, so Colerain will be kicking off to Mason. We are not in a running clock since we are not at halftime yet, but we have been told, and we haven't 100% confirmed, but stay with us. There may not be a halftime. We'll end this quarter and then go directly to the third quarter.
Well, yeah, we'll find out as soon as these 4 minutes and 8 seconds come off the clock what they do. All right, so Ott back in now to kick the ball off. It's lined up at the 40, and we're getting ready, and we are underway. Ott gets his foot under it, and it's a pooch kick once again, this time taken at the 15-yard line to the 20, the 25. Met immediately and taken down once again by Colerain special teams before the returner could get to the 30-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 for Mason. We'll call it at the 27-yard line.
If you haven't been to Mason, the visitors, we're sitting in the visitors' side. We got our own little booth over here. But the only thing is, we just got a call. We do not have stats over here.
Yeah, they're on the complete other side of the field.
Yeah,
and they don't bring those to us. But there's not a whole lot to talk about in the stats here. I mean, you've got Colerain offensively
a lot.
as the guy. They're all touching the ball. They're all moving. Interestingly, I would guess DSM's stats are probably down a little bit tonight because he's been distributing the ball
about
really
a couple runs.
Right, exactly. So the defense is back out on the field, and there's a handoff right over the middle to number 3, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage and pushed backwards by a whole flock of Cardinals. See where they mark him. They're marking him up to the 29-yard line, so I think he got maybe 1 yard on that play.
Yeah, they're going to give him almost 2 on that. There was a little bit of a crease right there. Mason's got some size, but Luke Bolden took on the guard, pushed him up, and he running back basically ran into the back of the guard, and that just slowed him down enough, and Bolden reached around the guard and took them both down.
That was Logan Dalton, the senior, once again, carrying the leading rusher for the Mason Comets.
So Mason back to the I formation, just a straight handoff dive.
Once again to Dalton. He's got it. He makes a few guys miss. Deshaun Pace cleans up Luke Bolden's initial tackle. He gets it out to about the 35-yard line, where they will mark him down short of the line to gain, as Brandon likes to say. It's going to be third down and about, call it 3.
So they've had success running the ball, getting 3 and 4 yards at a chunk, but when you're down 35-0, you might have to throw the ball. And when they've gone to third down pass, Colerain has brought the pressure. So back to straight I formation, though.
Probably not going to blitz here. They come right through the middle, and Luke Bolden stops him up in the backfield, and I believe that's going to be short of the first down. And Tom Bolden immediately calls a timeout. 2:42 left to go in the half. He wants to give his offense as much time as possible. Credit Luke Bolden in there. He didn't, I think, finish off the tackle, Brian, but he certainly held up the running back in the backfield.
I credit the defensive coordinator right there.
Yeah.
He calls a stunt right between the guard, and he went right to the hole that the play was going to. A good read from the eyes in the sky and a good call from the coach on the field. Fourth down and 2. 2:42 left till halftime. So Colerain uses their timeout. They'll have 2 left. Everybody's saying, hey, why do you call a timeout when you're up 35-0? Well, it's kind of an unwritten rule. You get what you can in the first half, and then you're nice in the second half. So
nice is a strong word. You certainly, you're right, though. You do everything you can in the first half to, and this is a good opportunity. Let's pretend it's not 35-0. Let's pretend you're down 4 points or 5 points, and, it's the state semifinal. And you've got to be able to score, and you've got to be able to manage your time and move the ball, and you've got 2.5 minutes to do it.
I'll tell you what, and with 2:42, Mason down this big, I wouldn't. This is kind of a good area for a fake. If you don't get it, you give him 20 yards, but you haven't stopped Colerain yet. So if you pick up a first down here, you're still giving the Colerain the ball at the 40-yard line, and Colerain has been starting at about their own 45.
It's a good point. I don't necessarily disagree with you.
So you've actually got a Logan Dalton, who's a running back, who's also your kicker.
Yep, and he does kick it, and it's a low line drive kick, and it bounces. Sincere Jones stays away from it. It rolls down past the 30 and out of bounds right at the 24. We'll call it the 24-yard line.
I wouldn't even call that a rugby-style kick.
No, I don't.
That was just
he didn't mean to do that.
Put your foot on it and just hopefully it bounced. He's a slight rollout.
So the Cardinals are 76 yards away from pay dirt again. They've got 2 minutes and 40 seconds, 2 timeouts to get there, plenty of time, especially with the way they've been able to run wide and pick up big chunks of yards.
All right, who hasn't scored yet?
Well, Sincere scored, JJ scored. Mike is raising his hand. He has not scored. We know that. Deontay hasn't scored.
Yep. Quarterback, other guys on the
field.
They have
5 touchdowns, and Deontay hasn't scored
yet.
They've
got 2 tight ends, so you only have tight end. Brian Beavers hasn't scored yet.
Let's see what we do here. Deontay takes the ball, and it's just a straight handoff right up the middle to Ivan Pace Jr. He's turning his feet. Gets out to the 29-yard line, so didn't look like much, but that was a 5-yard pickup on first down.
That's power on power. I'll tell you what, Mason's got big guys up front. Linebackers are a little bit small, but this Colerain offensive line is doing their job.
It was number 52. Do you see him out there? 52, that's Chase Evans. He was a first-team All-GMC last year as a junior. I don't see 52.
That could be the guy that 64 that we don't have on the roster.
That could be. There's a handoff to Ivan once again. He's going to get it out past the 30 up to the 32.
Did you steal my depth chart?
I may have. Would you like it back? I'm not using it.
There it is. Is that a tick down 149?
Is yours?
Yeah. Colerain is not using any timeouts right now. They have 2 left. 3rd down and 3.
To recap, Colerain started the game with the ball.
Yeah,
so Mason will get it to start the second
we didn't
quarter.
see the coin flip, but Colerain did have first possession.
Right, so they'll have to kick off to Mason to start the second quarter. So they'd like to score here. There's J.J. Davis. He's going to run wide, see if he can find some room. Good pursuit by the Mason Comets. He's going to run out of bounds. Plenty of room to pick up the first down out to the 37-yard line.
That's the play that they scored on the first possession, first play. They go jet sweep. J.J. Davis takes it outside. This time there's a whole host of Mason Comets there waiting for him, but he does get the corner. And best of all, is that a flag? Yeah.
This game has been almost completely penalty-free.
I think that's the first flag. They're going to call a holding.
Well, there was a 5-yard. Remember the 5-yard?
The offsides.
Offsides against Colerain defense. But I think that's it.
Yeah.
So this was a holding against Colerain.
It's going to bring it back, make it 3rd down and 11. They're going to take out a tight end. They bring in, who is that? Oh,
Let's see what they do here. In the shotgun is Deontay Smith-Moore. Drops back, looks to pass, releases it across the middle, and it is caught for a first down. Is that Sincere Jones?
That's Freddie Johnson.
Oh, Freddie Johnson. The super sophomore. That was awesome.
He threaded a needle right there. It was just a little post route, and there was 3 Mason Comets around him.
Yeah, I thought it was intercepted, quite frankly. They were close enough to get it.
He just threw a laser right there, hit him right in stride.
So the Cards needed 13, and they got it in a little bit. First down and 10 at their own 43-yard line. 1 minute to go in the half. 2 timeouts remaining. We're going to see exclusively Deontay Smith-Moore rolling and throwing now. Gets knocked down. He attempted a pass, and it got knocked down at the line of scrimmage. What'd you see, Brian?
I tell you what, they went play action, and he had J.J. Davis and Sincere Jones slipping out of the backfield. And if he could get it over that defensive lineman's head, they've got blockers in front of him. It was there. But it does. You know what helps them? Stops the clock.
It does stop the clock. One of the challenges, you know, we've talked about it a little bit this year, and you got to roll Deontay out. He's not tall. He's not a tall individual. So you got to roll him out away from those big defensive linemen to give him some clean passing lanes. He drops back, looks to pass. It's a speed pitch. Sorry, not a speed pitch. He just threw it really quick out to Sincere Jones, incomplete off his hands. Clock stops again. Only 5 seconds come off. It's now 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, combo route. J.J. Davis runs a little skinny, runs a corner route. And that was Sincere Jones just running a quick out, little hook pattern, but ball a little high. Nothing hurt right there. 3rd down and 10. Ball was incomplete.
So they've got to get all the way down to the Mason 47-yard line.
Send Freddie on a fly right down in this left side here.
Cross back, looks to pass. Fakes the pass, keeps himself, does Deontay. He's going to run in open space, and he's got enough room for the first down. He gets tackled from behind, but not until he takes it all the way down to the Mason 25-yard line, where it'll be a first down for the Cardinals.
I tell you what, they just spread them all out, and just a quarterback draw. You said he hadn't scored yet. This one taking himself. The clock stops while they set the ball. The ball's going to be spotted at the 24. Colerain still 2 timeouts left.
Plenty of time. 35 seconds to make something happen here. Snap is back. Drops back. Oh, we've got flags. False start against the Cardinals. And this is why you do this, right? This is why you practice the 2-minute drill. So for people that, again, may question, you're up 35-0. What are you doing trying to... Well, this is why. Because you can't have a false start in a game where it's not 35-0. So you practice it in game.
Yeah.
You go through it.
You're going to lose seconds on the clock right there. Colerain almost should have called a timeout. Still under 20 seconds now.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit difficult now. They're going to get about 2 plays. Snap is back to Deontay. He drops back, looks to pass, pressure up the middle. He's going to avoid, throws it, and it is complete. Makes a man miss. On his feet, into the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals. Ivan Pace Jr. with the 29-yard reception.
Yeah, nobody open initially, and he tucks the ball almost to look at that same quarterback draw, but he stops right before the line of scrimmage. Mason coaches don't think he stopped before the line of scrimmage, but the linebacker came up to stop him, which freed Ivan Pace in the flat. And did you see that stop-start that Ivan Pace did on the 5-yard line?
That was
incredible. Let the defender run by him, and he gets into the end zone with 5 seconds left.
Yeah, we see our guy Jason Helfrich down there. Hopefully he got that on Twitter. Snap is back for the extra point. It's a low kick, but once again, it is a good kick. And Ott is a perfect 6 for 6 on the night. And with 5 seconds to go in the first half, Colerain has opened up a 42-0 advantage over the host Mason Comets.
I tell you what, who do you defend?
The
run, the pass. This is one of the most balanced Colerain's offense we've seen in a long time.
When you can do what he just did, when you can break contain.
With who?
When Deontay Smith-Moore.
I thought you were talking when you could do what Ivan could do.
No, when you can do what DSM does, right? When you break contain, you get out in the open. Everyone just thinks, he's just going to run.
Still keep your eyes
But
on
his eyes are down the field. He's aware of where the line of scrimmage is, and he's able to unload the ball to a wide-open Ivan Pace, who's standing, where was he, at about the 10? 15,
no, he caught
10?
He caught that ball outside the 20, almost the 22-yard line. And one of the safety had an angle at about the 5-yard line. And Ivan Pace just, for a man who was 220 pounds, just threw on the brakes.
Yep,
and he just ran by. He broke my ankles right there.
Yeah. Yeah, Ivan Pace is a special talent, and it's one of the reasons why Luke Fickle and his staff just recently offered Ivan Pace for a full-ride scholarship to the University of Cincinnati to play football.
Mason Comets, there's no replay. I'm not sure if they're still talking about maybe the quarterback being the line of scrimmage, but the coach has given the referee an earful, and he wanted to extend the earful, so he's called a timeout. This is one of the longest meetings I've seen with the coach and the head referee.
Is that going on over there at the 20-yard line?
Yeah, just outside the 27.
Well, Kastner's smiling.
No, he's pointing to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
They're still talking about the touchdown pass.
He seems to have at least gotten some kind of answer he wants, because now he's
worked
his way back to the sideline.
Or realized he wasn't going to get an answer. But
I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to undo it?
As a coach, you're never going to get a thing overturned.
Right. But I've never seen it happen.
You want them to know
that in your mind, they done goofed.
Excuse me on that. So Colerain does have to kick the ball off with 5 seconds left.
And we're about to find out here real shortly. Again, because of the lightning delay, we believe that they're going to be skipping halftime. We had about a 30-minute delay, which acted as a halftime, so to speak. So the 5 seconds are going to come off the clock here, and if they just switch sides of the field and start the third
kick
quarter.
Off again.
Yeah, and Colerain will kick off again because Mason does receive the ball to start the second half. So Colerain kicks it. It's a squib kick on the ground, taken at the 30-yard line. Makes a few guys miss, gets hit hard, and gets taken down at about the 36-yard line. And that's going to be the end, officially, of the first half. Here at Mason Middle School, Dwyer Field at Atrium Stadium, your Colerain Cardinals 42, the Mason Comets 0.
This halftime performance brought to you by the Colerain Booster corporate sponsors. So thanks again to Longshafer Baptist, Friendship Baptist Church, Northwest Association of Educators, Joseph Toyota of Cincinnati, Quaker Steak and Lube, Langan Meats, Supercuts, Plato's Closet, Arab Pest Control, Fast Signs, Life Touch, Game On Sports, Northgate 4. Tile and Carpet, State Farm Insurance, Cincinnati Police Credit Union, Hawksworth Blood Center, CAI Insurance, Valley Metalworks, and Queen City Running. Thanks for your support, and how about this? Go to our webpage and look up these companies. They support us, let's support them,
And by us, we mean the Colerain High School community, and not only that, but the Colerain Middle School and White Oak Middle School communities, because their donations as being good corporate citizens help literally, not figuratively, literally thousands of kids every year be able to partake in the extracurricular activities that help.
It's not just sports.
Absolutely. All the extracurricular activities. Everything at Colerain can benefit from the Colerain Boosters.
The band, the new the auditorium built a couple years ago. Academic quiz team. Anything involved with Colerain High School or
chess,
middle school.
drama, cheerleading, all of the academic team, all of the sports, obviously, at every level. They all benefit. And here's a way that you can help. In the upper right-hand corner of your screen, if you like the ability to listen and to watch Colerain football free of charge, click on that little I and make it not so free of charge.
Yeah, there are some schools in the area, Chris, that charge their players.
Their fans absolutely do.
$5 to $20 a game to watch online.
We don't do that. Yep, we will not do that. We try very hard not to ever have to do that because we understand the Colerain faithful and the Colerain community. But if you click on that little I in the widget in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, if you're on a desktop or laptop, that'll give you an opportunity to make a tax-free donation to the Colerain Boosters through YouTube and their ability to deliver that directly to the Colerain Boosters. Why don't you bypass a Starbucks coffee this week or maybe lunch at Chick-fil-A? Throw $10 to the Boosters. It does matter. So we're kicking off again now to start the second half. There was, in fact, no halftime, and it was a squib kick kicked all the way to the 20, and the Mason return man tried to run wide, and that didn't work out so well for him. He got it up to, let's see where they mark it, where they got it. Inside the 30 again, so right at about the 28-yard line, I think, is where Mason will start off. 1st and 10 for the second half, and we are officially now in a running clock situation. It's 42-0, Colerain over Mason, 11:38 to go. The clock will only stop for change of possession and an injured player. Out of bounds, incomplete passes, moving of the chains for first downs. The clock will continue to run.
I believe I don't know. We're not seeing. They have a holding penalty. I didn't see any flags on the field, but you know what?
Must have been on the far sideline where the play finished off.
Yeah, and so they're going to take it all the way back to the Mason 17-yard line.
So holding on Mason on that return. It'll be 1st down and 10 for Mason at their own 17-yard line. Let's see. I'm assuming the starters are going to stay in most of the time. There's Colin Brown, hands the ball over across the middle to Mason running back. Once he gets up, I'll get his number. Number 21 this time. I knew that they'd done some switching. I don't have a depth chart, and we can only assume that the roster is what it is.
Nolan McCormick.
Yep, he absolutely is going to be on there. Nolan McCormick. He's a sophomore, 5'10", 180 pounds. He's got 518 rushing yards this year with 6 touchdowns, so he's not unfamiliar to varsity play. They pick up 5 yards on that play. 2nd down and 5 at their own 22-yard line. Colin Brown still in at quarterback, under center.
One wide receiver, 2 tight ends, offset I.
Takes the ball, hands it off once again to the sophomore. He takes it. He's going to get up past the 30-yard line. Plenty of enough for the first down. 67 finishing off a tackle way down the field for the Mason Comets. He's pretty fired up, number 67.
Emmerich Mosier. Yeah, I don't know what they said to him at halftime.
Luke Bolden.
At 30 seconds we had between half. But Mason Comets has come out, and they've made a slight adjustments here. They brought in an extra tight end. They've widened out their splits, and they said they're just going to run straight at Colerain.
Yeah, it's a big offensive line for Mason.
So Colerain's got to kind of bring everybody, linebackers, a little bit closer in the box.
The size difference is quite funny when you take a look at it. 21, McCormick's got it again. He's going to get it out past the 35-yard line up to about the 36-yard line.
As we saw, they had success in the first half, running the ball up the middle, 3, 4, 5 yards at a time. But it's when Colerain made the stop and forced him into 3rd downs where Mason had the trouble, and he picked up. They gave him almost 7 yards on that.
Daryl Patrick is in at nose tackle, 5'5", 165. And you look at him and you compare him to some of these monsters that he's lined up against on the other side. There's Mason Hill back in there, Eric Phillips.
Yeah, Corleone back in the ball game.
Yep.
A little bit more bulk.
Yep, there we go. A little bit of pressure up the middle. There's a handoff. Jump step, number 21. This McCormick's not a bad little guy. Ball's on the ground.
He's down.
They're calling him down, and that's the right call. Progress had been stopped, and he was down at the 40. So it's going to be 3rd down and 1. It's a nice little drive for Mason here to start the second half.
Well, it's a good read there by the running back. There really wasn't anything there, and he just kind of hid behind the big tackle. Who was that? Jackson Norman, the 6'6", 315-pounder. Just kind of hid behind him and just waited for a crease to open up. So big 3rd down and 1.
So needing to get to the 41. There's a snap. There's a handoff right over the middle, and he is met in the backfield. He lost a yard. 49 in on that tackle, as well as number 7, the captain, Luke Bolden.
Yeah, it was Donovan Owens. Kind of shoots a gap right there. Ooh, kind spot. Still short of the first down.
Yeah. And Mason is, I mean, they're at the 40-yard. I guess they feel like they have to be in Colerain territory to go for it. I mean, you're trailing 42 to nothing.
It's a good spot. Again, they only need 1. You've got three men as personal protectors to the punter. The punter is a running back.
Yep.
So
is that Dalton back there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see you doing that here. You're better off just lining up behind that offensive line and trying to get the yard. And he doesn't. Good pressure put on by Deshaun Pace of the Colerain Cardinals, and the ball is kicked out of bounds. And they're marking it right there at the Colerain 41-yard line, and that's where the offense will take over, up 42 to nothing. Now, as has been in the past, again, the clock is stopped now because of a change of possession, but we typically see each unit starters in the second half for at least one series. This will be Colerain's.
Johnson is going to take over at quarterback.
And
you've got a new fullback in there.
Yep, Hamza Abdul Wahid in at fullback for the Cardinals. There's a handoff to Wahid. He takes it across the middle, and he's
Freddie, read that.
Wrapped up. Yeah, he didn't. That wasn't much of a read at all, I don't think. That was a straight handoff.
If he keeps that himself, he's got a chance on the corner right there. But we don't know. That might not have been a read. That might have been here. The quarter. We've seen Freddie Johnson. He gets a little excited when he gets in there. This could be okay. Let's give him a little confidence. Just get the snap, hand the ball off. Then we'll do something different.
Only a sophomore, but they believe very highly in this young man as a future quarterback. Under center, takes the ball, hands it off to Hamza Abdul Wahid one more time, and he's wrapped up.
Keep that again, Freddie.
Well, I mean, at least you can say he's not selfish.
Yeah.
I mean, he's handed the ball off twice. Probably should have kept it himself both times.
But
as a result,
we don't know if it's a read. That could have been just straight dive.
So it's 3rd down and 7 now. So 3 yards gained on 2 offensive plays. Again, the backups starting to filter their way in now. I'm trying to think. Sincere Jones is in there. Elijah Ford is in there. Taking a look at the offensive line. There's
pretty
J.J.
much just
Davis.
your quarterback and fullback are the only changes.
Yep. Who's 24 on the line there, tight end?
Hang on a second, we go 3rd down and 7.
There we go. He takes it, hands it off again. He keeps it this time, and they get it out to the 49-yard line, 48-yard line.
That guy didn't have the ball. He gets. Yeah,
he's going to be stopped well short of the first down, and Colerain's going to be forced to put on their first punt of the night. So the backups come in and couldn't quite get 10 yards. There's a drop-off, no doubt, when you go to the second team. And again, I don't know necessarily that Mason subbed out their first-team defense. I don't feel like they did.
Yeah, 24 was Beavers. He's been there the entire game.
There you go. Excellent.
So Lawson Sandusky back to kick for the Colerain Cardinals.
Brian Beavers. Thinking Darian's in Connecticut.
Oh, you're absolutely correct.
There's a snap back. Nice punt by Sandusky.
Maybe too nice.
Yep, he really booted that ball. Lawson hasn't booted, had a punt in, I don't know.
He's looking at the coaches like, did I kick it that far? He kicked that ball from about the 37-yard line of the Colerain Cardinals, and it was supposed to be a rugby-style kick. That ball came off his foot. It landed 7 yards deep in the end zone.
In the end zone, yeah.
He kicked that ball 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 65 yards in the air.
Oh, yeah, he crushed that ball. And like I said, Lawson's been he's got, and Coach Bolden isn't necessarily happy with him, but I mean.
Well, he was supposed to bounce that.
Right, but I mean, he hasn't punted in like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
he just had a lot of juice in that leg.
Mason takes over at their own 20.
Yeah, 1st down and 10 now. 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. There's a run up the middle by number 3. Their starting tailback. He's going to get met and taken down for about maybe we'll call it a 1-yard gain. Can we give him that?
Barely a 1 yard. That looks like Corleone again from his right.
Logan Dalton, the senior, trying to find some yards.
About a half yard on that.
We saw the starting defense in there. Let's see.
Pretty much so.
Yeah, pretty
Well,
much.
the starting defense, starting offense is still in there for Mason. But I'm surprised. I mean, they're just happy to run out the clock. They've done nothing since this half started except line up in the eye and run straight at Colerain. This time, okay, they're going to shut me up. They're going to go pistol formation, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers.
Let's see what happens.
They're going to run the ball.
Snap is back. Takes the handoff. Rolls to his right. Looks to pass. Looks down the field, and it is intercepted. Oh, I said that too soon.
And a late flag comes in.
Yeah, that's pass interference. I saw that against Colerain. There was no doubt they hindered the progress of the wide receiver. Yeah, that was a pretty easy call.
Running stride from stride. There was Alonzo Kendricks in man coverage, and maybe the little bit of an extra bump there.
It wasn't a little. I mean, he wrapped him up pretty good.
Well,
but I mean, he was crossing. He kind of ran into him, and he grabbed him kind of through.
When you're running one-on-one in this defense, a lot of times it is not a spot foul like in the pros.
Right.
It's 10 yards.
Yep.
So rather give up the touchdown in the long play, grab his jersey,
absolutely.
take the 10 yards.
Yeah, absolutely. And the way your defense is playing, you give him 10 yards, especially with a running clock now. We're under 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. I mean, the Colerain offense may only touch the ball maybe 2 more times. Maybe. Snap is back. Looks to pass over the middle, and it is dropped.
Oh, and Jakari Patterson, you've got to keep your head, young man. The last play, it was pass interference, but he had the ball bounce off his hands on an interception. Following a play, the ball hit him in the chest. He would have had another interception, and he loses his cool. He takes his helmet off, slams it to the ground.
Yep.
He's going to get a personal foul on that, and he's going to get a personal escort down to the 30-yard line from Coach Bolden.
But here's what I love about Coach Bolden. He didn't yell at him. He didn't scream at him. He didn't. You can tell by his tone. He had a conversation with his senior saying, son, I know you're frustrated that you've just dropped 2 interceptions. I get it. But you can't do that. You cannot do that. I mean, he's staring him all the way back to the bench. Jakari's probably done for the night, I would think. Maybe not. Maybe you show that confidence by putting him back out there on the next defensive series. But he's frustrated and he's angry because those were 2 interceptions he should have had, and in any other game he's had.
They're marking off the penalties, yet they've already moved the yard marker. How do the referees know?
Who knows? I don't know. It's 42 to
Mason
nothing. I'm not
Thomas
really
into Colerain territory for the second
time tonight.
Ball spotted at the Colerain 49.5.
Clock is still ticking, so no need to worry about that. We're now down to almost 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. First down and 10 for the Comets on the Colerain 49-yard line.
Defense here.
Well, yeah, Patterson's out. Snap is back. Drops back to pass. Tries to find. Steps up into space. Does number 10. He's going to tuck it. He's got tons of running room. He's going to get all the way down and slides at about the 30-yard line. It's going to be a huge run for the senior quarterback. I said senior. Let me double check that. No, he is only a junior. Colin Brown, the starting quarterback, still in for Mason, trailing 42 to nothing.
Yeah, good coverage. Jalen Thomas just kind of slipped on the play. It looked like he almost had to contain on the quarterback. But all the Mason receivers had gone deep in their route, so there was nobody, not a linebacker home. This is when your first team defense is sitting on the bench looking at those guys going, okay, guys, we want to shut out.
Yeah, exactly. First team defense cheering on some of the backups that are in, going, we've held them scoreless so far. We want to keep it that way. Mason drops back, looks to pass, and he is overwhelmed by number 49, number 12, and then finally cleaned up by Mike Best, number 25.
I tell you, good pressure. As you said, that was Donovan Owens. He's one of the starters. He's in there. But again, Willie Finch does a great job following up, and a big loss. He's going to lose about 7-8 yards on this.
This Colerain defense, not known for sacks because they don't pressure that way. That's not the style necessarily of this defense. But that's got to be the 4th or 5th sack of the night.
Well, your quarterback is forced to throw the ball, so you get more turnovers than you do sacks.
Absolutely. So there's a handoff to the number 21 again, the sophomore, trying to find some room over the left side. Going to pick up a few yards, get back maybe to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd down and probably close to 12 yards.
And this is where Mason has struggled all night. Yeah, they've done well on first down, getting about 3-4 yards, and then a mistake on second down. But the 3rd down and long, they've been forced to throw. They've gone play action, and Colerain has done a very good job putting pressure on him. And even when they tried to change it up a little bit, and that's the end of the third quarter.
You just kept going. I kept waiting for you to breathe because I was going to jump in and give the end of the quarter.
I saw the coaches start moving it there. It's that golf, that baseball thing. You can be talking about, the third inning, and that's ball one, and then you just got to keep going. But yeah. So yeah, Mason.
So there we are.
So yeah, Mason had gone away from the play action and tried to force a little bit of something, take advantage of Colerain's pressure by going a screen pass last time. That was unsuccessful. So we don't have stats in front of us, but third down conversions have really been on Colerain's favor tonight.
We don't even have stats behind us. They're nowhere around us. They're on the other side of the field in the home press box. Here at Mason, they've got a visitor side press box, and it's nice we've got our own space.
I like it, yeah.
No doubt about it. As we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast,
I like the rustic wood paneling.
Yeah, there's no there's no Wi-Fi here, and one of our challenges is we've got Jason Helfrich down on the sideline again. And if you're not following us on Twitter during the game, even if you're listening, then you're missing out on the almost the real-time highlights of scoring plays and big plays. So he's down there with our own Wi-Fi hotspot, generously supported by the Colerain boosters, so that we can give you those live highlights on the field. And normally we use the press box Wi-Fi with whatever field we go to, and there's no Wi-Fi in the press box here at Mason. I mean, which I don't understand. I mean, they've got multi-million-dollar facilities here, and there's no Wi-Fi in the press box of any kind. It's over on the home side. I know they've got it, but it doesn't come over here. So we're thanking Brian Wyatt and his service provider for providing us a personal hotspot tonight. There's a handoff once again to number 21. He's found some running room. Jukes makes several guys miss. He's going to get all the way down to the 21-yard line. I think he's going to have almost enough for the first down. He's going to be real close. Close enough that they're going to go for it on fourth down, obviously, trailing 42-0. They want to get some points. It's fourth down. Ball's marked at the Colerain 22-yard line. Deepest penetration of the night for the Comets.
Yeah, 4th and 2. Everybody there from Colerain was looking for the pass there. I was even looking for the pass, but they did a little draw to the sophomore running back. At this point, you can run right at him. You have had success just running straight at him, and Mason has got most of their starters still in there.
Yeah,
So I'm expecting just
I would say
the fullback.
Yeah, it's at least half and half on the defensive side for the Cardinals in terms of starters. There are several guys out there with some very white jerseys. I've not seen any dirt or sweat yet today. There's a handoff once again to the fullback. He takes it and pushes forward. He's going to have enough for the first down. Gets down inside the 20. Still on his feet.
He broke free.
Broke free. Again, we've got some of our nicely put some of our smaller, less seasoned athletes in it now in defense, trying to hold the line, but couldn't do it there. Mason pushed through for the first down. They'll have it first down and 10 at the Colerain 14-yard line.
Yeah, Mason benefited again there from I haven't mentioned anything, but these referees on the kind of stalemate plays have been slow with the whistle right there. They have been. And that time they did the right thing because the Mason Comet running back slipped through right after about a 3-4 second scrum.
Colin Brown still under center, takes the ball, hands it off one more time to number 3, Logan Dalton. He's got it on his feet and into the end zone for the first Mason score of the night with 9:59 left to go in the game. The fans are going bananas.
I tell you what, the student section here at Mason is one of the largest we've ever seen. They at this point in the game, they outnumber their parents. So they're going nuts. They have scored against Colerain.
No. They're going bananas.
Go bananas?
Yeah, you don't get it? Go bananas?
Oh, because they're wearing yellow shirts.
Yeah, because they're all in yellow.
Yeah. The appeal of that joke was not very good.
Well, you just didn't get it. Snap is back. Hold is down. Kick is up, and kick is good. So Mason, with 10 minutes to go in the game. You got it, right, Mike? I mean, did you pick it up? Yeah, he picked it up. With 10 minutes to go in the game, Mason puts their first score on the board. It's now 42-7. Colerain on top. So the backups on defense just couldn't quite hold it. And again, that was Mason's starting junior quarterback and starting senior tailback.
You probably had 3 or 4 of the defensive linemen there who get a lot of playing time to start. You might call starters for Colerain, but pretty much all the linebackers and defensive backs.
The DBs had all been pulled. Those are our Saturday morning guys.
Kendricks was the only starting defensive back out there. So it'll be interesting what Mason Comets do right here. They got one of the best kickers in the league. That's Charles Sipe. He's got a foot on him, but you're down a lot of points. Not much time left in the clock. I don't think you try an onside kick here.
No, who's back to receive? Is that Freddie Johnson and Kendricks?
That's probably not Freddie.
No, it's not. Number 29 and number 9.
That's Gavin Watson.
And he's going to be the one that catches it right at the 5-yard line, takes it up to the 10, the 15, the 20. He's got some wheels, bounces off his own guy, gets touched for the first time at the 34-yard line, and takes it all the way out to the 37-yard line.
Okay, Gavin slowed himself down. He started running through the crowd when he got it with a head of steam. Kind of anticipated a little bit of contact.
Yep.
And kind of shied away and slowed down a little bit. He ran into his own man.
That was Brian Beavers he ran right into.
Yeah, keep your head up, young man. You had a crease there. It was a nice return.
He did.
But, yeah.
As it turns out, it'll be first down and 10 for the Cardinals. Their own 38-yard line is where they officially mark it. 42-7. Again, we're in a running clock situation, so the clock will continue to run.
All subs in for the Colerain Cardinals right now. Offensive line and skill position.
So there we go. Hands the ball off right over the middle to Hamza Abdul-Wahid, and he's going to get tackled for a huge loss. Boy, Hamza is just so much smaller than those defensive linemen that Mason has out there right now. And then, Mason looks like they still got most of their starters out there.
They have all their starters in.
Yeah, I recognize 64, 77, 48. Yeah, 42. Those are all their number 9.
That was Casey Miller on the stop.
Yeah, so Mason's decided they're not going to pull their starters, which, I'm sorry, you're down 42-7, and you're not pulling your starters. I guess you play, right? Well, it's homecoming.
You
want to play.
Those, third place GMC defensive stats.
I think those are going to take a hit after tonight. Not going to lie to you. Freddie Johnson under center, fakes the handoff, keeps himself, tries to cut it back inside. He's going to get met. A little bit of hesitation by the sophomore. If he takes that ball and goes back, there's going to be a flag on Mason.
I'll tell you what, Ed Bolton, Ed, keep your Colerain again loses a little cool. We had a little bit of a pushing afterward. Ed Bolton pancaked his man. He pancaked your starter 64, which we're not really sure he is. He's not on the roster, but he's been there the whole game.
Uh-oh.
And 64 actually got up and pushed Ed Bolton, got the flag. And then Ed celebrated a little too much on receiving a flag and got the flag of his own and got an earful from his father.
His father's
his uncle.
Delivering that earful right now. Tom's not even over there. His dad, Dan Bolton, is over there having a conversation with him about how if you get the flag, you got the 15 yards. It's shut your mouth and walk away, and he didn't. And it now cost his team 15 yards and offsetting at 0. Why do our lights keep going on and off? It's kind of irritating. Well, the good news is all of that happens, and it just continues to eat the clock away.
So third down and 13.
Think Freddie Johnson passes here?
How about a jet sweep right here? We've had some success to the outside.
False start. I understand and appreciate pulling the starters. I mean, this game is not in question. There's 7 minutes to go, and it's counting, and the game is over. Colerain's going to move to 7-0, undefeated in the conference. They're going to give Mason their first loss. They're going to drop to 4-1. Can you please pull up the scores, Mike? I'm going to give those who are still listening maybe some updates from around the city. While we sort through the end of this, Brian, if you can take play-by-play in color for the rest of the way here, that'd be great. Hit the little refresh button on that bad boy. There we go. Let's see what we got here. We have anything in final status? No? Okay. Oh, my goodness gracious. They're playing. Who's playing Baby Shark?
So they went jet sweep in Detroit trying to find it. I believe that was
Did you hear
Josh
that?
Mason.
That's our
that
band?
was coming from the Colerain band playing a little Baby Shark.
My
Going to bring
goodness.
up Gavin Watson to stop him on a fourth down.
I know my kids aren't awake, but if they were, well, they may be awake. All right, Lakota West trailing Lakota East 28-3 in the third quarter. Give another score here real quick. Hamilton and Middletown, now they're in a delay at halftime, still 9-7 Hamilton. In the fourth quarter, obviously, they're seeing the same thing at Fairfield. They're still up 40-0 over Sycamore. Gone to the running clock. I'm certain that Fairfield has pulled their starters as well. Back to punt.
Dardis and Niehaus back.
There's a high punt. It's going to bounce inbounds and take a Mason hop and go out of bounds at the Colerain 46-yard line. And that's where Mason will take over, first down and 10 under.
Well, as
6
good
minutes to go.
as his first kick was, that one was just as ugly. He'll have a decent average on that.
Yep. Princeton is up 21-7. That still says halftime. What do we have from a GCL perspective, Mike? Let's scroll down a little bit here.
I believe Princeton's still in a Kona Ice delay.
That could be. Elder now up 21-14 on Moeller in the fourth quarter. And St. Xavier is just absolutely hammering LaSalle 42 14-7. Same score we've got here. Any other scores of interest? Let's see. Anything close? No, those are blowouts. There's a handoff up the middle. Nice tackle on the senior made by, who is that, number 36? Number 36 for the Colerain Cardinals.
Yeah, 36 stepped up. That's Sean Williamson, a sophomore, takes down the senior starter, Logan Dalton, for a 2-yard gain.
Tippecanoe still
All
trailing
right.
13-7.
Mason is now substituted one offensive lineman.
Wow. Second down and 7 for the Mason Comets.
Douglas Farrell Jr. in for the
5 minutes to go in the game. 5 minutes.
Starting quarterback Colin Brown looks to the sideline.
Drops back, hands off. Run right up the middle. Gets all the way out to the 50 before he gets hit. He's going to fall just short of the first down. We're going to call him 2 yards shy, and there's a flag late.
Yeah, Jalen Tenzing and Willie Clark on the stop.
Looks like it's going to be holding against the Mason Comets. So that run is negated. Mason's not doing anything offensively here that's exotic. I mean, they're just running the ball. Right. I mean, we don't want to give the impression that they're out here trying to beat up on JV players. They're not. They're just running the ball.
But you still got your starters out there. I got a special shout out.
Yep.
It was a lightning delay. I made the Kona Ice joke, but thank you to Jimmy Dinsmore for listening at home, pointing it out.
That what?
That he believes it was no lightning. He didn't see anything in the radar, but he did know that there was a Kona Ice truck in the area.
I'm okay. I'm pretty sure there was lightning. I saw it in the clouds, but
They've turned off the flashing light on the Kona Ice truck, though, didn't they?
yeah, they did. It's not on anymore.
Might get a shot of that.
Mason, oh please, really? Seriously? Are we really going to do that?
Yeah.
We're really going to do that. That's happening right now.
Because I've been accused of making things up.
Really?
And the Kona,
You make stuff up?
and the Kona Ice truck did have a flashing light on the top.
It did. There it is, and it's now off. It was at the very front there on the top.
And how refreshing is that on a summer day? I like blue raspberry.
They are not a sponsor. You do not need to plug them. They could be, though. No reason they can't be. No reason you couldn't be.
So are you an icy or a slush puppy guy?
Well, that's a good question. I'm more of a slush puppy guy. I'll tell you what I'm a big fan of, the Speedy Freeze. Ever had the Speedy Freeze at Speedway? Big fan of the Wild Cherry Speedy
We were talking
Freeze.
the other day, and I'll show my age with this. Remember the old kind of pewter cups you used to fill up, and you put them in your freezer, and you scrape the sides until you had a slushie?
Did you just say pewter cups?
Yeah, they were pewter, some type of metal kind of cup. You'd put them in the freezer and pour some.
I think we got rid of those once we got the running electricity in the house. There's a handoff by Mason. Short of the first down, he's going to pick up maybe 2 yards on the run. It's going to be 3rd down and about 3. Under 4 minutes to go here in the game.
Yeah, good tackle there by Doug Davis. Bring up a 3rd down and 13. They needed to get to the Cardinal 45.
Again, we encourage those of you who are still listening, for those of you who are.
We don't know why.
We don't. We appreciate you listening. We encourage you to head on out to Twitter to check out our highlights. We are Colerain, obviously. As well as head out to our Facebook page. Like us there. And after the game, you'll be able to see our wearecolerain.com player of the game, as well as the post-game interview with that player and head coach Tom Bolden. We need to pick a player of the game, Chief. We don't have any stats. What are we feeling?
You know what? You know who we haven't talked about all night?
We need to give out a big shirt tonight. A big 2XL.
No, I'm thinking they never get talked about because they don't get any stats, and if they don't get any stats, this has been a penalty-free game. Your offensive linemen starting tonight that Will Coleman, Quasi Jones, Ace Aaron Sweater, Cameron Carnes, and TJ Ganella.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I can't pick one. That's the problem. Right? I mean, how do you pick one?
Well, give it in Aaron Schwender, one of the captains.
Yeah, we can start with Aaron Schwender. I mean,
Yep.
He's done a great job. Love to give it to Ace. Mason's going to have to punt it away from the 40. Bounces just before the 10-yard line. And they down it. Basically stays right there. Colerain will take over. Clock stops. At least there it goes. Stops at 2:29 for change of possession. Colerain will have it now, conceivably for the last time of the night, and you're probably not looking at a score beyond 42-7.
So let's symbolically give it to the offensive line and physically give it to Ace.
Right. And what am I supposed to tell him? He's supposed to share it with everybody on the line?
No, he's a senior. He's the captain. His shirt, he wears it with pride.
Or do we give it to him and let him choose which offensive lineman he thinks deserves
He's going
it?
to choose himself.
Will he?
I don't know.
He's a kid. Probably.
I would.
All right.
If my choice between me and you, I'm choosing me every time.
That does not come as a surprise. Clock is now running once again.
New quarterback in for the Colerain Cardinals. That's Tyler Prather. He hands it off right up the middle. He's going to pick up about 3 yards as Chris has decided to. I think Chris is going to head down to the field right now. 2 minutes left. So lots of substitutions, and we've gone deep to the bench for the Colerain Cardinals. He picked up 5 yards, almost 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
Sorry, we're going to get a little bit more direction on who to give that to. We're going to actually talk to the offensive line coach when we get down there.
Well, why don't you start now? I'll take him home.
You got it?
There's a handoff up the middle. Fullback pushes forward. A good push from the offensive line. We got a new number carrying the ball tonight.
All right, thanks everyone for tuning in.
Isaiah Montgomery carries the ball. It's going to be just short of the 1st down. Going to be 3rd down and 1.
I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and I will not be here next week. So
what do we got going on next week, Chris?
Next week we're at home. No, we're on the road. We're on the road at Lakota East next week. Who they were beating up on Lakota West tonight, so that's going to be another, I think, only 2-loss opponent.
Option.
Option is going to be a quick game. So I'm signing off. Thanks and good luck. Bring us home, Brian.
All right, 3rd down and 1. Lined up under center is Tyler Prather. Keep it himself, looking for the edge, makes a man miss. He's going to be close. And Prather picks up the 1st down. So he'll see how slow the referees at this point in time. Whether they got to start the play clock. I believe they'll have to run one more play. They're going to start the play clock. Play clock at 35 seconds left, or 25 seconds left. The game clock at 31. So Colerain's going to take one last snap. Not anything any fancy. Prather's under center. Tight wing formation. Checks the play off. And the victory formation. Prather takes a knee. And this one belongs to your Colerain Cardinals. It was a lightning shorted game. We go to a running clock for the 3rd straight week. Colerain Cardinals over the Mason Comets 42-7. And as Chris said, come see, we're going on the road again next week. We'll be playing Rick Haynes' Lakota East Firehawk Birds. I'm not really sure. I'd be confused on this. So for Chris Himanitis, Brian Wyatt, and for Mike Rourke and our guys on the field, thank you for listening. This has been Colerain Football.